Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to the longest running superhero role playing game on Earth. I'm your host, the Game Master, and today we're talking about the Vision, the Red Tornado, Ultron, all sorts of things. But before we get into that, smash like, make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell, and leave us a comment. We've got a great community here, and it's all thanks to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. With all that said, let's dive in. The prologue to this one takes place in the 1960s when the original Ant-Man, aka Hank Pym, creates a robot called Ultron. Inspired by his studies of a synthetic being called Dragon Man, Dr. Pym began experimenting with artificial intelligence. After building a torso on tank treads with spindly arms, Pym endowed Ultron 1 with consciousness, using a copy of his own brain patterns as the basis for the robot's programming. However, the robot inherited not only Pym's great intellect, but also his mental instability and no human conscience. Shortly after its completion, the robot developed an irrational hatred of its creator. Humbling Pym, Ultron 1 hypnotized him to forget his robotic creation even existed, and it evicted Pym from the lab so it could undertake its own remodification process. Ultron then constructed, in quick succession, 4 bodies to house its computerized brain, each time designing a more and more advanced robotic life form. Which brings us to the main plot, which takes place in August 1968, when 2 famous androids would be built simultaneously, the Red Tornado and the Vision. The Red Tornado is built by Professor Thomas Oscar Morrow, who also builds the Red Volcano, Red Inferno, and the female robot known as Red Torpedo. But Red Tornado's 3 siblings have yet to be activated. Professor Morrow's instruments detect some weird readings, so the Red Tornado is sent to investigate. When he arrives at the designated coordinates, he finds the Avengers, whose current roster consists of Ant-Man, Black Panther, Black Widow, Captain America, Hawkeye, and the Wasp. As the Red Tornado arrives on the scene, he can see that the Avengers have been defeated by a new android called the Vision, who in turn was created by Ultron 5. Seeing Vision standing over the heroes preparing to finish them off, the heroic Red Tornado flies into action. The Red Tornado goes on 26, while the Vision's initiative is 24. So the Red Tornado uses his 13 APs of air control to hit the Vision with a tornado. He needs to roll a 4 or higher on 2d10, and he gets a 4 and a 2, which hits, barely. The Vision then takes 7 points of damage, so his body drops from 9 to 2. For his final automatic action, the Red Tornado tells the Vision to leave the Avengers alone. And that's the end of round 1. Since Vision had already attacked the Avengers, and Red Tornado's appearance constitutes a surprise attack. So now it's Vision's turn. He does have density increase, and his strength and body can be boosted to 12 APs. But according to the rules of TSR's Marvel Superheroes, the Vision can no longer move once he reaches maximum density. And the player who was playing the Vision didn't like the sound of that. So instead, he flew over to where Red Tornado was on the game map, which cost him his first automatic action. Then for his dice action, he used his strength of 11 APs and just hit Red Tornado, rolling a 3 and a 4, falling short of the 13 he needs to hit. Then he uses an automatic action to drop his density to minimum, which we represented with the spirit travel power, which is self-linked. We used this, by the way, rather than dispersal, because in the case of dispersal, there are things that the hero can't phase through then if the object they're trying to pass through has a high enough body. So in other words, someone with dispersal of, say, 10 could still get punched by a character with like a body of 25. Or someone with dispersal of 10 wouldn't have enough dispersal to pass through a wall made of, say, adamantium. So, the way we understood the rules in Marvel superheroes was that the Vision had no limit to what he could pass through. He should be able to go through adamantium and everything, right? So that's why we went that route. At any rate, so now it's Red Tornado's turn, and he tries to punch the Vision again. But since Vision is insubstantial now, the Red Tornado's fist passes harmlessly through him. Red Tornado tries air control, but again, the tornado he shoots just passes harmlessly through Vision. So now it's Vision's turn, and for his first automatic action, he becomes solid. For his dice action, he punches Red Tornado, doing 4 points of damage. Then for his final automatic action, he goes back to being insubstantial again. In my gaming group, we refer to this as a drive-by shooting. So it is at this point that the Red Tornado realizes that he's in trouble. No matter what he tries to do, the Vision is going to be immune as long as he can keep doing what he's doing. So Red Tornado tries to run away. He has a flight speed of 10 APs, which is the speed of sound. Vision chases him and catches up to him with his own flight speed, which means getting there was an automatic action. Then he becomes solid, which is another automatic action. And then for his dice action, he hits Red Tornado again, doing 4 points of damage. But now Vision is out of actions, and he's still solid. So the Red Tornado tries to punch him. He needs a 9 or better, but he only rolls a 4 and a 1. He tries again, and then he rolls a 2 and a 3. That's the moment right there where it could have been over, if not for bad dice rolls. It's Vision's turn. He attacks, rolling a 10 and a 3, which is exactly what he needs to land a hit. Red Tornado takes another 4 points of damage and is knocked out. So the Vision wins. Which is just a brief aside. I've heard a lot of arguments over the years about who would win in a fight against the other one, and I think this actually shows pretty well how evenly matched they are. So then we get to the epilogue. The Vision takes the captured heroes back to Ultron, and while they are there, Black Widow is the first to wake up, and she is actually a spy, and she's been keeping her eye on the Avengers, reporting back to her secret master about what they've been up to. And when she wakes up, she activates a distress beacon. Within moments, the form of a 6-armed woman named Spiral materializes inside of Ultron's headquarters. Spiral was from the Mojoverse and had traveled through space and time with another female Marvel character named Ravonna Renslayer, which is a long story. But the point is that now Black Widow and Spiral work for the same man who used to be the leader of the Hellfire Club before the Hellfire Club's recent defeat at the hands of the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Justice League, so on and so forth. So the former Red King doesn't take kindly to people abducting Black Widow. So he appears alongside Spiral and he attacks Ultron, rolling a 6 and an 8, doing 26 points of damage, quote unquote, killing Ultron in a single blow. Ultron had been disguising himself as a villain called the Crimson Cowl, who people had assumed was a human being. In fact, Ultron had become the leader of the current iteration of the Masters of Evil, commanding the likes of Claw, Melter, Radioactive Man, etc. The former Red King removes the head of Ultron 5 and keeps it as a trophy. And he also keeps the costume of the Crimson Cowl, thinking it might come in handy later. The Red King leaves without anyone really ever knowing he was there. The Vision helps the Avengers to their feet, and Hawkeye says they can't trust the Vision since he's the one who knocked him out. But the Vision insists that he's a hero now that Ultron has been destroyed. Unbeknownst to the heroes, however, Ultron 5 downloaded his mind into the computers here and is already working on building the upgraded body of Ultron 6. And he starts researching adamantium as a building material in the hopes that next time he won't be able to be killed the same way as he was last time. The Avengers return to Avengers Mansion with Vision, and they watch the news. And once again, G. Gordon Godfrey is on the news, getting everyone to turn on the superhero community. This time, he cites the Avengers as his example, saying that it was Hank Pym, an Avenger, who is to blame for Ultron's creation. According to G. Gordon Godfrey, once again, superheroes hurt more than they help. And now, Joseph David Keene, a United States Senator from the state of Oklahoma, has proposed the Keene Act, a new law that would make supers illegal. But that's a story for another day. We enjoyed this one. We hope you enjoyed hearing about it. If so, as always, smash that like button. Check to see if you're subscribed. Ring the bell so you know when we upload more stuff. And as always, leave us a comment. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, and we just love hearing from you guys. From all of us here, the longest running superhero role-playing game on Earth, we hope all of you have a good one, and we'll see you in the next adventure. Bye.